Before I was American, I was black. Shout out to my real patriots and my real matriots, because matrial people can be patriots too. I mean, it's an energy. You get it. If you get it, you don't. You don't. Before I was American, I was black. But if we walk in the light as He is in the light, we have fellowship with one another. But if we walk in the light as He is in the light, she too, we have fellowship with one another. 1 John 1:7. African Americans like me are caught up in the crossfire right now. We are strongly expected to have undying loyalty, or we are looked at as a traitor. But am I wrong to consider all the possibilities? Like many, my mind is still on overload from the events of September 11th, 2001. This day shall no doubt be one of the most infamous in my personally witnessed history. 1 plane, 2 planes, 3 planes, 4. Tragedy from the skies, and now we are at war. I remember this very well. It's so amazing to believe that a country which has invested so much taxpayer money in the Defense Department could not provide a better defense against this type of attack. Yet I suppose there are just some things you cannot protect against, like those you just don't see coming. Or did we? At the risk of sounding un-American, I ask questions only to get angry sentiment rather than answers. Why is it wrong for me to demand answers? Do we not claim to be the best democratic society in the world, instituting a series of checks and balances so as we can question when we feel something may not be quite up to par or in the best interest of our society? Are we not heralded as a bastion of tolerance and morality? By the way, I wrote this myself. I didn't have ChatGPT or none of that shit. No proofreaders, or whatever. This is all me. Like I said, I'm a real writer, a real activist, a real editor. I do all that stuff just like I do all my own mixes, unless I let you know if I'm not doing the mixes on Soul School Cafe. All of that is me. So you're going to have somebody who wants to say that I'm not worthy of some toxic bitch who just wants to sit on her ass and just talk about misery. Bitch, miss me with that. You can all go fuck yourself, and you already did. Okay, I got it, mother. Back to stay focused. That Gemini, stay focused, baby. Northnode, stay focused. Get back to that, what you were just saying. Yes, ma'am. Focus. Before I was American, I was black. At the risk of sounding un-American, I ask questions only to get angry sentiment rather than answers. Why is it wrong for me to demand answers? Do we not claim to be the best democratic society in the world, instituting a series of checks and balances so as we can question when we feel something may not be quite up to par or in the best interest of our society? Are we not heralded as a bastion of tolerance and morality? I would like to think my country is the greatest in the world, but I cannot offer an expert opinion since I have not been to all the other countries to see for myself. I can only go by what I experience and what I see on television. And being in the media, I am fully aware how propaganda is used even by this great country. Thus, before I can condemn, I want to know fully what I am condemning and why. Is it un-American to feel this way? Judge not unfairly, lest ye be judged. Born and raised in America, I can without doubt say America is my home. If you check your history and go further beyond the Mayflower, beyond the red man crossing the Bering Straits, you will find out that people of African descent were already here. An original descendant of the North Continent, my people were a part of those who taught others how to survive and prosper in this country in hopes we could all work together and continue to make this nation the America the Beautiful we've so proudly sung about in the last few weeks. However, because I choose not to engage in blind patriotism and jump on the kill or be killed bandwagon, I am considered un-American? When pages and pages of history have shown countless dishonorable intents made by the American government since 1781 against the native inhabitants and immigrants who look differently than those on the Mayflower, can I not operate my freedom of checks and balances to merely question something which feels wrong deep down in the core of my soul? Is it not American to question why my freedom is being manipulated? Aside from those who were cast from the shores of Europe because they were diseased and criminally insane, let me say that again, because y'all missed that about the boat and why the folks on Mayflower came over here. We're the blue bloods. We're the this. We're the that. You were the ones that Europe kicked the fuck out, okay? Let's be real about your history, because I will. Don't play me. You rolled up and tried to manipulate and try to gang stalk the wrong one, Jay. You fucked up. That blackie girl is really intelligent. Yeah, that blackie intelligent one is me. All right. The birds say, go girl, preach, 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 preach. Say that line again. When pages and pages of histories have shown countless dishonorable intents made by the American government since 1781 against the native inhabitants and immigrants who look differently than those on the Mayflower, can I not operate my freedom of checks and balances to merely question something which feels wrong deep down in the core of my soul? Is it not American to question my freedom is being manipulated? Aside from those who were cast from the shores of Europe because they were diseased and criminally insane, did not the rest of the latter-day Americans come to these shores looking for freedom against an oppressive, tyrannical society? Were they not seeking justice, religious freedom, and tolerance? Did they not, you hear the birds are co-signing like crazy. Did they not fight against taxation without representation? Were we not proud that they questioned rather than accepted these perceived errors in judgment and governing? Check your history books. Yet how could these same people so blindly ignore another people doing the same thing? Why has the so-called oppressed willingly and easily chosen to follow the ways of their former oppressors? Why do our laws apply some of the time, but not all of the time? Am I wrong? No. Still, because I ask questions, some dare to question my patriotism. Many in my family have fought and continue to fight battles to defend America, including the one we're undertaking at the moment. To my recollection, none of my family has skipped off to Canada or had their daddies pull strings to keep them from serving in the armed forces. Both my father and mother were in the military. My husband has served in the Persian Gulf War. Numerous relatives have defended and still are defending this country's ideology. I have been an advocate and activist of justice for this country for as long as I can remember. Yet reality dictates that there is a fly in the soup, and I did not put it there. My father was a brilliant man, graduating at the top of his class. Yet acquiring rank was no easy task for this man who preceded affirmative action, look up the word preceded, it means came before affirmative action, who preceded affirmative action and suffered intense racism. Retiring a commanding warrant officer, I feel he could have easily made colonel general had it not been for the color of his skin. My father was a precise man, a talented man, an intelligent man, a fair man, a strong and outspoken man, a military man, and he was a black man. In the end, this is all the army chose to see. My mother was an intelligent woman, an attractive woman, a well-spoken and well-read woman, a versatile woman, a wonderful nurse, and she was a black woman. How many promotions was she turned down for, and how many patients she saved spat in her face merely because she looked different? My husband he was living at the time before he was murdered. November 2007. Child, you really do not want to mess with me. But go ahead, it's a lesson for everybody. My husband is a brilliant man, a fair man, and a most troubled man since his stint in the Persian Gulf. Why? Because he is a black man who is having the most difficult time getting his justly deserved benefits from a country he so valiantly fought for. A country whose system takes him through hundreds and hundreds of tests, reviews, and red tape just to come up with the same results they constantly ask for, yet claim they never see. A country whose system regularly loses my husband's paperwork, purposely forcing him back to square one. Thank God he had to learn to keep his own records. A country which ignores its veterans' defense for his own health and welfare of his family, reminiscent of the Vietnam Agent Orange scenario. Yet they would quickly call upon him again to blindly defend a system that has yet to work for him. A country which constantly pushes my husband's claims to the side like his services didn't count, while processing in a much more timely fashion those claims of his white brethren who he fought right beside. Were his services not as important? Now, many would say, that's unfortunate, but that's in the past, and there are more important issues to deal with right now. I agree. This is the past, a past which continues to affect my present and future, since the lessons unlearned are brought up on a constant basis in so many contrived ways. Yet there are more important issues to deal with, like, when are we going to learn from our past? What will it take for America to recognize its own faults, since we're so good at pointing out the faults in others? When will America stop discriminating against someone merely based on the color of their skin or how they chose to worship God? How long will it take America to realize that those who question their misguided intentions only do so because we want this country to be the greatest country in the world? Will the children really understand the true teachings of Jesus the Christ by someone who boldly utters the statement that they want someone dead or alive when it has not been 100% proven that this person is guilty? What about our constitutional laws of innocent until proven guilty? How do we condone and condemn killing on a premise and not proof without totally confusing our youth? How can we say you're either for us or against us, and we will punish you if you remain neutral? Can this be why there are so many who hate us so bad? Can a country that constantly breaks its own rules be expected to be the moral conscience for the rest of the world? Can we continue to overlook these faults and not think that they would not come back to haunt us? Are you still stupid? Is the question today. Clearly most people are. Okay. When it comes to decisions we make regarding others, let us be right because we are right, not merely because we say so like a bully. Too many lives are on the line. Too many innocent souls are threatened for something that smells of fear more than freedom. Something must be changed, and indeed justice must be done. But it must start from within before it can truly spread throughout this world. The greatest weapons of destruction reside within one's own mind. We must change our mindset to equal our values. We must truly understand that the difference between fighting for freedom and fighting out of fear. We must truly understand the difference between fighting for freedom and fighting out of fear. We must ask ourselves honestly, where does that fear stem from? On a daily basis, this country reminds me that I'm looked at as a color with little opinion. Then I'm expected to say nothing of the injustice while loyally charging off to battle another injustice. Am I the only one who is confused by the selective democratic spirit of freedom? Yeah, I still care enough to honestly speak up because I want more for myself and for my children. I want America to live up to the claims of being the home of the brave and land of the free. Considering this nation's birth is still a fledgling 200 years old, America is a good country, but she has still a ways to go. I want to see America righteously prosper without fear. And I do not want to see another chain of events like I saw on September 11th, 2001. This is why I'm fighting, because I am an American. Is my patriotism not as valid just because I'm black, blackish, Native American, whitish, triracial, quadriracial, whatever it be? Miss Val Jones is a broadcaster, writer, public speaker, and entertainer. I did this in 2001, before King Jones and J. Cole. I've been doing this all my life. I've been into runes and cards and tarot. Since the 1990s, early 1990s. All my life, really. My mom, brilliant. My dad, brilliant. We would look at the stars all the time when she was doing a late shift at Womack. You came up against the wrong one. And you expected me to play dumb. Play small. When I've always been the star the whole time. Does she know who she is? Do you know who I am? I have a right to feel how I feel without having to feel like I got to walk outside and find myself getting killed because somebody's butthurt or ego got them feeling some kind of way. Honestly, if I didn't have God and Goddess in my life, I would kill you all today. The crows said she would and she could. But I'm on my Saturn return, and I've learned. So I'm going to let Saturn lead the way. Mother Nature, the forces that be. And you can claim you're over me, but we know that is not the reality. So School Cafe, like, subscribe, share if you want to know, if you want to learn. My stories are true. You can learn or burn. It's up to you. Okay, that's it. Did you learn something today? I would like to take this time to thank all of my subscribers. Thank you for your energy. Thank you for your love. Even if I've got haters, hey, thank you too, because if you know how to alchemize that ish, it works as energy too. Yay. And also thank you for those of you who have bought 1 or 2 or 3 or more of my projects. Right now, you can go to BANDCAMP because I have at least 5 projects on BANDCAMP at ValJones or ValJonesDaO. I have natural born orator. I have class has an attitude. Yes, it does. I have when military brat strike back. Oh, that one's a perfect one because it's letting you know who's really going to lead this next evolution and revolution. It's us. And did I say ether egg? I've got ether egg, and I've got another that I can't think of right now. But just go to ValJones or ValJonesDaO at bandcamp.com and purchase my products. They are available now, and thank you to all who have purchased my products, my audiobooks and my poetic therapy. You are appreciated, and thanks for appreciating me. Until next time, peace.